Hello there, everybody. And it looks like Netflix is making some more horrible changes, bad decisions, which could mess up their platform. I thought their platform was probably messed up the moment they said that they were going to start charging for password share, and I was like, yeah, that shit gone. But let's see what Moist Critical has to say about it. Because he gathered all the information for us, and we're going to react to what he has
I've been
to bring
actively
us.
following all of the Netflix updates in regards to their password sharing policy because I always get really interested when a company the size of Netflix makes business decisions that could ultimately lead to its demise.
Sure.
This idea of something being
It's
too
just
big to
dumb.
fail but then failing anyway is always so interesting, like Blockbuster. Once a household name, but now a household joke. Netflix watched Blockbuster jump off a cliff and said that looked like fun, so why don't we try it? Which is poetic considering Netflix did play some role in the demise of Blockbuster, and now they're making decisions that are very possibly leading them to the same fate. I'm
Also,
sure
they're
all of you
expensive
know
as fuck.
they don't like password sharing
They
anymore.
increase the
They're waging
price,
war
yeah.
on the 100 million password sharers. They're trying to commit a genocide on them.
Yeah, nah.
They've made a very strong stance, wiggling their finger, saying, no, 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 no more of that, Buster. They've pumped up their SpongeBob anchor arms and they're busting down your door and removing access to your Netflix account if you're a password sharer. I've already talked about this twice, but it just keeps changing and evolving quicker than a fucking Pokemon. So initially, their plan was restrict access to anyone that shares passwords, where it's only a one household service where you have to be in a primary location in order to access it, and you only get a 7-day grace period while you're traveling to access Netflix. That was as lenient as they got, and they put all of these rules into effect in some Latin American countries, but now they've also put it into effect in Canada. Mudahar recently made a
Yeah.
video covering all of this. Here you can see a notice that you receive. A Netflix account is for people who live in the same location. So if you're not a member of the family or at least a stranger living inside the walls, attic, or basement of someone's household, you won't be able to access their Netflix account anymore. You'll just be kicked off and unable to access it. Now, originally, this was going to be going global, right? But after Backlash, they tried to play the it was just a prank bro card and say that this policy wasn't meant to go live on the American services, so when it hit the website as like an upcoming policy change, they tried to backpedal saying, whoa, big oops moment here. That's not happening yet, but then confirmed that it is happening in Latin American countries and now it's happening in Canada. So you can extrapolate from this that it's likely coming to America very soon. Going to the website, you can see a bit more in detail exactly what the plan is. We've always made it easy for people who live together to share their Netflix account with features like profiles and multiple streams. While these have been hugely popular, they've also created confusion about when and how you can share Netflix. Today, over 100 million households are sharing accounts, impacting our ability to invest in great new TV and films. What's impacting your ability to invest in great new TV and films is common fucking sense. You guys
Listen,
have brain rot at the office and literally greenlight the worst shit imaginable. It is
you know what would be funny? You know what would be really funny? This would be so hilarious. It'd be stupid hilarious. Like, one person bought Netflix. Like, one person bought Netflix, right? And then that one person shared his password to everybody. And then multiple people just made different accounts on that one password, bro. And nobody was allowed to change it. Only the main dude would change it if he needed to. But only one, like, nobody would change it. Bro, that would be so hilarious, bro. You don't understand how hilarious that would be. Like, billions of people on one password. Oh, that's funny.
unreal the low quality of some of your Netflix originals, and you don't even promote half of them. In the last video I made talking about this whole situation, I mentioned Bruise Brothers, which is a show that I think had 10 people watch it, and one of them was Matt, and he said it's the worst comedy he's ever watched in his life. And Netflix tries to like bury that under the rug, yet they financed it, right? Like you are putting money behind projects no one wants, no one hears about, and no one likes. That has nothing to do with the amount of money you have in your piggy bank, because you are shaking your piggy bank like you're trying to make it rain on a stripper. You're just putting it into projects that are bad and doomed for failure. It has nothing to do with your actual financial bottom line. You have plenty of money to invest in good TV and films. You're just not. You're putting it into trash, garbage, and clearly you're not being rewarded for it. And also, talking about the confusion around how you can share Netflix, you slimy weasels, you absolute fucking worms. What and what a despicable load of horseradish. You used to encourage password sharing. This little blemish is still
Love is
live
sharing a
on your
password.
public Twitter right now. Love is sharing a password.
Yeah, 4K,
Now, if you want to
1080p,
say that you've completely changed your stance on it, that's one thing.
30
Love
frames.
is no longer sharing a password. In fact, that's sin. Sharing a password is unforgivable sin, a breaking of the 10 Commandments, and you're going to jail for it. You've changed your mind. That's what you should say. Not try and chalk it up to confusion as if you've never encouraged password sharing. You used to, and now you're not. Okay? It's changed. There's not fucking confusion. You're just delusional. You're the crazy one. You're taking crazy pills, not me. I'm not dumb, you're dumb. They continue to announce that it's rolling out in Canada, New Zealand, Portugal, and Spain, then talk about what's coming. So, setting primary location, which is the one household system, managing access and devices, which they're saying you can now easily manage who has access to the account, even though that's never really been like a pain point or a headache. Like, the only reason Netflix ever got super popular in the first place is because of the convenience and the ease of use. So it's actually just easier to pay for Netflix as opposed to pirate something. So it's never been like hard to do that. I don't know why they're advertising it as like a new easy service. So that's a weird bit of fluff there. Transferring profile, so people using an account can now easily transfer a profile to a new account, which they pay for. Watch while you travel, so you can still access Netflix when you're on like a vacation at a hotel and shit, but it's only for a limited amount of time. It's not like forever travel, at least not as I understand it. I don't know why they're leaving it kind of vague there. But then this one is a little interesting. So now you can buy an extra member. So members on our standard or premium plan in many countries, including Canada, New Zealand, Portugal, and Spain, can add an extra member sub-account for up to 2 people they don't live with, each with a profile, personalized recommendations, login, and password for an extra $8 a month per person in Canada, and then adjusting the rates for the other locations. So you're paying a subscription per person per month. And here's just a visual of all the plan features. So premium is clearly the highest tier where you get to purchase membership for 2 other people. And this whole thing is very confusing to me because it seems like there is absolutely no reason to purchase extra members on your account. You're not getting a crazy discount on it, and when you do pay for that extra membership, they're getting their own separate login and password. All you're doing is picking up the bill. So you're paying 2 monthly payments, your account and now theirs. So what the fuck is the point? At that point, you're better off just giving them $10 in the mail and saying, hey, go crazy, go hog wild, make a Netflix account with this. Like, what is the point in paying for that password sharing? And that's the wrong word because you're not even sharing passwords. You're just sharing the embarrassment of paying for Netflix twice, really. The idea, I suppose, is, like, let's say when this goes live in America, my parents won't be able to use my Netflix account. Well, I can still give them access to it if I'm a premium member by paying the fee for them too. So then I just pick up the bill for both of us and they can still have their own separate Netflix that I'm paying for as opposed to them. So it's not really password sharing, it's just giving you the opportunity to pay for a couple of other people to have access, which I think is just kind of worthless, really.
Yeah.
I don't see that being a super popular idea. Though the more I think on it, the more I think there was actual potential with the core concept here. I don't know the exact numbers, but I would imagine the majority of people that are sharing Netflix passwords aren't sharing it with like fucking 10 or 20 people. They're probably sharing it with close friends and family, at least in my experience, that's who's sharing. So that's like 2, maybe 3 people. Like, you know, a divorced family where the kids want access to Netflix at both mom's side and dad's side, and so they share an account to make that easy. They can't do that anymore without paying multiple times, but why not take this idea and expand it like this? You have X amount of free account sharing, so you can designate like 2 family members that can still share your same Netflix account for free. Nothing changes there. But then if you want to extend it to like 4 people, 5 people, whatever, then you pay. So then you'd pay like an additional $8 to get like 2 more people that you can share it with. So I feel like that'd be a much more lenient way of monetizing in a very similar fashion that wouldn't immediately just be like fucking going crazy with it and making it super brutal. The motivation behind this idea is clearly to monetize the 100 million people currently accessing their service for free. However, I compare this decision to when OnlyFans spent 12 hours saying that they're going to be removing adult content from their site, which would instantly kill OnlyFans. They eventually had that eureka moment where the light bulb flipped on in their head and they're like, wait, If we remove porn from OnlyFans,
That's what it's known for. Removing what it's known for is bad. And I can't skip this set. Bro lost his fight. Goddamn.
I'm something different.
Scream, March 10th.
we're gonna be buried 6 feet under. We're fucked. So then they reversed it. I still don't understand exactly what happened during that time period at OnlyFans headquarters.
I think they wanted to be able to like do ads and monetize their site, right? But I don't know. Like, because like most places you can't really monetize or promote like sexual content or whatnot, I guess.
They must have been hit by like some kind of cosmic stupid beam that reset their IQ to like 3. And they're like, oh, OnlyFans.
And then they wanted to monetize it, but then they're like, the whole reason we're this big is because of this thing, right? But if we remove this thing, nobody's really gonna use our thing because there's all these other websites that are maybe better. So it's lose everything or just have explicit content without being able to really promote it or push it out there as much. Something like that.
Is not a porn site anymore. Now it's going to be about cooking and sports and shit. Or whatever else they were trying to say. Maybe they got confused on the date and thought it was April 1st. I don't know. But that was still one of the most comically awful business decisions I've ever seen. And now Netflix is trying to compete with that by taking 100 million users away from their own service and expecting them to come back groveling at their feet with money in their hand in order to access the worst Netflix original content imaginable. Slapping 100 million people and then still expecting them to bend over and goatsy for you so you can fuck them financially is just an absurd notion. I'm sure some people that are kicked off will pay for it going forward, but I think the vast majority won't because there's so much competition, so many other places they can go, and also this isn't like some invaluable service people can't be without. They'll probably just not bother in the first place.
There's already too many like places to buy because people will complain about HBO and then Disney and then I don't know all of them, right? Because I don't buy them because I'm broke. But you know,
Especially considering how
list
weak
them down
and
in the
winky
comments.
dinky the catalog is, full of stinky Netflix originals with almost none of them being good for 2023's upcoming slate. I looked at the docket for the upcoming Netflix originals this year, and there's only like 2 that stood out as potentially good, which I feel like is the primary reason Netflix users even have an account is for the originals, because if you're just on Netflix for like some of the old classic shows that are still amazing bangers, you can still find them elsewhere for cheaper than your subscription model right now. And since this is becoming wildly inconvenient for the 100 million users that were password sharing, most of them, I imagine, will start turning to piracy. This will incentivize piracy to pop off once again. So they're just not going back to Netflix, at least not a super meaningful number of them. That's my prediction. But yeah, that's the latest update on Netflix ruining their own business model. So yeah, that's about it. See ya.
Yeah, I don't know what Netflix is going to be like 5 years into the future. Start your device, maybe later. Props to Netflix for teaching every other company how to not run a company. Like, it's true. 17-year-old who lives with the voice parents. I'm so excited to have to apply for the 7-day extension every time I switch houses and then subscribe. Re-log in into Netflix every time I come back 1 day past the extension. Bravo, Netflix. Damn. Netflix is different, right? Canadian Netflix and USA aren't the same subscription, so if me as a Canadian cancel it won't affect USA at all. That's true. But if enough people cancel it everywhere, they'll stop. Connor spoke with Netflix, got a bunch of excuses, and eventually told this wasn't true. Guess they'll share our passwords. We just have to verify our account and verify the primary location. My question to Netflix was, does this mean my husband can't use Netflix while at work on his phone anymore? His work is only a mile and a half away. And he pays for the account. It's a simple question. Yeah, I didn't receive a simple answer. Damn. They even can't or won't answer, and many people just get hung up. It's bullshit to expect people to have several different accounts. Bro, people are probably not going to have Netflix anymore because the shows are bad, the prices are going up, and they're making people pay for multiple accounts for password sharing. But yeah, let me know if you guys have Netflix because I don't. But like, subscribe, see you guys later. Hope you have a good day or night.